I see you. You hear me?
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
Okay, yeah.
I just didn't know if you heard me before.
No, I had my sound pretty low because when it's headphones are on, it's pretty easy to hear through them, but now I can.
I just wanted to make sure your sound was working.
Yeah, I talk really loudly, Andy says, when I have my headphones on, so I didn't want to wear them if possible.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure your audio was working.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Yep. Now it does.
And hopefully you won't be able to hear Andy. He may come out and tell me I'm too loud, but hopefully I hung up a towel, blocking him off as a clue. See?
Don't bother me for the next half hour.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to tell him that, but he's been on the phone all morning. So, oh, there he is. I'm so excited. Hi, Spider-Man. Look who I brought. A friend.
A mini Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's very exciting. No sound. Does Spider-Man talk?
Oh, hold on. He was muted.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. I was about to say, Spider-Man usually can't shut up.
We were thinking you were just miming.
Yeah, no wonder. I know you were excited to see my friend.
I was saying it's a real shame that I'd have to reveal my identity to get any money from my likeness.
We won't tell Peter.
I mean, who's Peter?
Sorry.
Parker. My name is Parker Peterson.
So Melissa, am I reading the questions, or are you able to see those, Spider-Man, and read them?
So if I pull up the chat here, I can read them, and then I have a list of like some pre-sent questions that I'll use as filler in between them sending them for me. Okay. And then I also have a storybook made into a slideshow that I can present and narrate.
Okay.
Okay.
And you'll handle that part, Melissa, if there's anything transition-wise?
Yeah, you should be able to share your screen
Here, let me,
if you want to practice that.
yeah. There we go. And then I'll just have this. Oh, hang on. I see what I got to do. It worked for me last time. I just have to make sure I'm in the presentation and then hit share screen. So, I'm glad we did that. Let's try again. There we go.
Yeah, there you are.
And perfect. We are good to go.
Perfect.
All right, so then I'll do the introduction, and then should I get rid of my video, Melissa, or does it matter?
Yeah. Do that video.
Is it just, it's not stop video, it's
Yeah, down in the left corner.
oh, it is just stop my video. Okay, yeah. So when Spider-Man starts, after I do my intro, and then I'll come back at about 11:15 to say the census part or the grant part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless Spider-Man needs anything in the meantime, but
Okay.
I don't.
And
so you're not doing
I don't need to read the questions because you can read them, right, Spider-Man?
Yeah, I've got it right here in my chat box.
Right.
So, and if not a lot of stuff is coming in, you can feel free to ask me any questions yourself.
Oh, I have so many. Have you seen this book?
Whoa, I have seen it. I haven't read it, but I really want to pick it up, actually.
Yeah, my husband just gave it to me for my birthday. So there's all kinds of interesting technical things in here about Spider-Man.
I've seen some YouTube videos of people reading it and then like doing their own diagrams and stuff for it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I wish I had a chance to pre-read, but I don't want to. I might give you a stumper. So, but of course, you know everything there is to know about you.
And I am extremely creative.
That's great.
All right. Well, I'm gonna mute myself for the next 8 minutes. People are gonna start coming in now.
Okay.
I can. Big surprise thing on here, right?
Yeah, you could probably, if you want to hide your video until I introduce you, you can just do the stop video part if you want.
There we go. Oh, look at that. I'm even called Spider-Man.
It's who you are.
Perfect.
Yay.
All right. See you in a few.
All
Okay.
right.
Hi, everybody. I am so excited that you're here today. My name is Miss Amy, and I work at the Glen Ellen Public Library. And I hope that you are excited to meet our guest today. I brought my friend. I don't know if any of you have your friends with you today, too. But first, before we get started, I just want to read this about the census. I don't know if you can see my shirt here, but we're going to be talking a little bit about civic responsibility. The census counts every person living in the United States. It tells the people in charge how much money to give for things like roads and hospitals and schools, which are really important. The Glen Ellen Public Library is trying to help make sure that everyone counts themselves, their family, and that their friends and neighbors get counted too. So government leaders know how they can help make our communities better over the next 10 years. So if they haven't already done it, ask your grown-up to go to my2020census.gov and answer the questions there. It only takes about 5 or 10 minutes, and then you'll have done your civic duty for the day. Now, are you caught in a web of census information? Well, don't worry. You can separate fact from fiction through a round of trivia with our guest today, Spider-Man. Speaking of which, let's welcome our special guest now. Are you there, Spider-Man?
All right, I am here.
Yay! Welcome. We're glad to have you.
I'm glad to be here with you. How's everyone doing today?
I hope they're doing well.
Oh, great. Now, you probably know who I am. I'm your favorite wet-headed, web-swinging city slicker from New York, Spider-Man, the one and only. And I'm so happy to be here with my friends from the library. Now, Miss Amy did a great job explaining what the census is, but before we start, I just want to say, from a superhero's point of view, the census is super helpful. I do a lot of my work chasing and catching bad guys, but most of what I do is actually just helping out normal people like you and me. And it really, really helps to know who needs the most help by looking at the census information. So I know what areas might be in more danger, what people are getting sick where, so I know where to go help. So you could be helping yourself and everyone else if you fill it out, and it would help me out a whole lot. But I'm not here to talk about the census. I'm here to talk about being a hero. And I'm going to give you a couple tips for you to start your very own hero training, and then we've got a story to read. How's that sound? Pretty cool? Great. Now, here's the first tip to being a hero, and it's actually pretty easy to do. You just have to make sure that you stay active. Now, I know it's kind of hard to do that sometimes right now with everyone staying at home, but if you can find any way to spend at least an hour every day being physically active, that'll keep you strong and ready to go. Now, number 2 is to keep your brain active too. You should learn something new every single day. And our friends at the library know that one of the best ways to do that is reading books. I'm reading 3 different books right now. I'm reading a book about Star Wars, just because I really love Star Wars, but I'm also reading a book about quantum physics because, well, I don't know if you know this, but I love science. I actually invented a bunch of stuff myself, so science and superpowers is what made me who I am. And the 3rd book I'm reading is actually called Science Fiction, which is kind of like science, but it's a big fantasy story. So I'm reading a book by H.P. Lovecraft. So you should be picking up books too to keep your brain and your body strong. But the biggest thing you have to remember to be a hero is this. All it takes is a desire to make the world a better place and the determination to go out and help. That's all you have to do. You don't have to fight a bunch of people. Just try to make the world a better place and you're a hero to me. Now, if we are ready, I'm going to read a little bit of superhero adventures starring yours truly. So here we go. Now, here we go. Check it out. The Amazing Spider-Man, that's me. Keep away from Kraven the Hunter. Now, it was a beautiful Saturday morning in New York City. As the sun rose, so did the Amazing Spider-Man, yours truly, who was up early and on the hunt for crime. He had already stopped 2 robberies and webbed up 1 car thief, all before 7 a.m. I like to get a nice early start. But now, it's time for Spidey to take off his mask and make his way over to the Central Park Zoo. It was time for Peter Parker to have some fun. Now, I know I just told you my name, but you are all good guys, so you won't tell anyone, right? Okay, cool. Now, as fun as it was being the Amazing Spider-Man, sometimes a regular Saturday was even better, especially if Peter got to spend it at the zoo with his friend Mary Jane Watson. Oh, I love her. She's great. Getting so close to these wild animals is exciting, isn't it, Petey? Mary Jane asked. But Peter took a step back. This might be a little too close, he whimpered. Sometimes Peter likes pretending to be afraid of things when he wasn't, in order to protect his secret identity. But suddenly, something happened that really did make him worry. What do you guys think it is? My spidey sense is tingling, thought Peter. Looks like Spider-Man won't have the afternoon off after all. Peter wished he could spend more time enjoying the zoo, but he knew that with great power came great responsibility. My uncle taught me that. Very smart man. I love my uncle. Somebody help, screamed the zoo's janitor. A gorilla's gotten loose. And what a giant gorilla it was. He was 3 times the size of a man, with enough power to crush a nearby hot dog cart. Peter realized that even though the animal was probably just confused, he could still accidentally hurt someone. With everyone looking at the beast, Peter snuck away to change into his costume. He hoped Mary Jane wouldn't notice him leaving, but he was certain that if the gorilla wasn't enough of a distraction already, surely she'd be distracted by the sight of her friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But when Spider-Man returned, he found somebody else already on the scene. It was Kraven the Hunter, the greatest hunter alive. Within a matter of seconds, he showed the powerful primate who the king of the jungle really was. The crowd applauded as Kraven quickly subdued the gorilla with a chokehold and dragged him back into his cage. Emerging from the lair, Kraven locked the door behind him as flashbulbs popped and reporters took pictures of this newly crowned hero. Like a leopard returning from a kill, Kraven stood triumphant. His clothes were dirty, and he smelled like the jungle. A reporter shouted, "What are you doing in America, Kraven?" And with the growl of a wildcat, the hunter responded, "I have defeated every animal there is. So today I hunt the most dangerous creature alive. Man. But not just any man. Spider-Man." It was me. Spidey couldn't believe his ears. "Hunt me," he said to himself. "Well, there must be a mistake," Spidey began. "You didn't come all the way just to squash a spider, did you? And surely you must have me confused with some other charming, handsome, and radioactive webhead." Kraven was not amused. Without warning, Kraven lunged at Spider-Man with the force of a rhino. Luckily, the wall crawler jumped out of the way just in time. "Whoa, you must be lost, pal. The auditions for the Lion King are downtown," Spidey cracked. Oh man, I've always got such great jokes. But even as he joked, Spider-Man could feel how strong Kraven was. He had the strength of an elephant and the speed of a panther. Unfortunately, he also had something else. But Spider-Man did it. He captured the greatest hunter alive. Without missing a beat, Spidey fired his web shooters so that Kraven wouldn't be able to hunt or hurt anyone else. When he was finished, Spidey walked over to Kraven and apologized. "I'm sorry I had to ruin your birthday," Spidey said. "My birthday?" cried Kraven. "Why would you think it was my birthday?" "Well," said Spidey, "you look like a monkey, and you smell like one too." "Spider-Man is tougher than I imagined," Kraven said to himself. "I'll have to cheat by sticking him with this poisonous venom I took from a snake." "You can't win, Spider-Man," roared the hunter. "I have the secrets of the jungle on my side." But before Kraven could inject Spider-Man with the poisonous venom, the web slinger swung into action. "That's fine with me. All I need are the secrets of the spider." And with that, Spider-Man turned to leave. He had to change out of his costume and get back to Mary Jane. But even with the unexpected arrival of a supervillain on a Saturday afternoon, it was still a great day for both Peter Parker and the Amazing Spider-Man. And with that is the end of our story. That's just a little bit of what goes into the day-to-day life of a superhero, but I'm here for you guys. So if you have any questions about what it's like being a superhero, or just any questions about me in general, you can feel free to type them into the chat box and I'll answer them as soon as I can. And while you're typing them up, I have a few questions that people have already asked me that I'm going to answer for you. And the first question is, where do you live? Well, I can't give you my exact address. I can't tell you exactly where I live, but I can say that I live in New York City. Yeah, I live in Manhattan, but my aunt and uncle's house is all the way out in Queens, and that's where I grew up until I was a little kid. So I just say New York. Let's see. No question. Just want Spider-Man to know I'm going to be him for Halloween and have real web slingers. What? That's awesome. Whoa. I love it when people are happy to see me and dress up as me. You guys are my biggest fans and I love it. Usually, when I'm at work, people aren't very happy to see me. But it's because they're bad guys and I have to beat them up. Hey, Spider-Man, what is your favorite food? Love, Ryan and Luke. Well, Ryan, Luke, my favorite food of all time is pizza. I don't know what it is, but pizza is just amazing. But I also love hot dogs, dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets, macaroni and cheese, and French fries. So I think that's my all-time top 5. But that's a really, really great question. Okay. If you have any other, just send them in. I have another one right here. What are some of your hobbies? Well, when I'm not dressed up in my superhero uniform and fighting crime and helping people, I really, really love reading. That's one of my biggest hobbies. I always love reading. I also love photography. I really like taking pictures. Maybe someday I'll get a job taking pictures. Wouldn't that be awesome? And I really like rock climbing. Although for me, it's not really fair because I stick to everything. Maybe I'm just showing off. I don't know. Let's see. Can you say hi to Graham and Blair? Hey, Graham. Hey, Blair. How's it going? Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you're enjoying the story and the Q&A session. Do you like rescue bots? I do like rescue bots. Heatwave is my favorite. One year for Halloween, I even made a Heatwave costume and I looked like a fire truck. Where is Hulk? You know, I don't really know where Hulk is right now. He tends to go all around outer space. Sometimes he's on different planets, and sometimes he just shows up, and I didn't know where he came from. He's one of those friends who I don't talk to all the time, but when I see him, I'm so excited. So, let's see. Here we have, ooh, who's the hardest villain you ever had to fight, and how did you beat them? That's really tough. A lot of my villains are really, really strong. Let's see, I think that the hardest one for me to ever fight was Venom. And Venom is really scary because, well, you know how I have spider senses and it like tingles if something bad is about to happen? Venom doesn't do that. So he can sneak up on me and I don't know it. That's why he's so scary. And he's very, very strong. But he does have a very easy weakness. And that is that he hates really loud sounds with really high pitches, like bells or glass breaking, or an opera singer did at one time. So if you ever see Venom and you can get him trapped, just make a whole bunch of noise because the alien part of Venom hates that noise and it tries to run away. So you can actually make Venom run away from you. That is how you beat him. That's going to be good for you guys to know if you ever become heroes. Let's see. Hello, Spider-Man. This is Abby. Hi, Abby. I'm very excited to meet you, too. I'm glad you're all here. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? I do have just a couple more, but I can answer any question you want. Let's see. Oh, this person says, who is my other favorite superhero? You know, my favorite superhero is probably Iron Man, because Mr. Stark is just a big hero of mine. He's really smart and he built all of his own stuff. So that's great. But I also really, really like Wonder Woman. I met her and she's one of the nicest superheroes I've ever met. And she is very strong too. See, do you like Toy Story? Oh, I love Toy Story. Toy Story was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, and I watched all of them growing up. I saw all of them in the movie theaters, and they're my favorite. In fact, when I was a little kid, I got a Buzz Lightyear action figure, and I still have him. He's at my aunt's house. So, any other questions? Oh, I've got one popping up right here, and it is, What's your favorite color? Well, all right, my favorite color is blue, and my second favorite color is red. I wonder if you can tell why I designed my costume to look like it does. I really like blue and red. Those are awesome colors. Say hi to Hulk and Iron Man Forrest. Adrian Towers, I will tell them exactly how happy you guys are to be giving your love and greetings for them. They don't really get a whole, well, Iron Man gets hellos all the time, but Hulk, he gets lonely sometimes. So thank you for saying hi. I'll make sure that you guys said you liked him. Ooh, Katie wants to know what my favorite sport is. Ooh, my favorite sport to watch is actually basketball, but I also really, really like baseball, especially when I go to the stadium and I swing up to the top of the lights and I watch it from there. Best seat in the house. If you ever get web slingers, you should try it. Do you like eggs? I do, actually. I ate eggs for breakfast just this morning. It was scrambled eggs. But my favorite way to have eggs is poached. But I'm not a very good cook, so I can't make them. I have to ask my aunt to make them for me. All right. Ooh, I have one more question here. So if you need another one, now's the time to write it in. This question I have right here is who would win in a fight, pirates or ninjas? Ooh, that's a really good question. I think it kind of depends. I want to hear what you guys want to think, pirates or ninjas. I think it depends, though. If it's on a boat, I think pirates would have the advantage because the floor is always all wobbly, and they're really good at standing on it, but the ninjas might not be. What's your favorite Easter candy? You know, that's a really hard question because I like all the candy. But I think my favorite Easter candy is the little marshmallow peeps because I can only ever find them during Easter and I want them all the time. I like to get the little peeps and I like to put them on my plate like they're little people moving around and talking. I like to play with my food. What's your favorite Easter candy?
Hi, Spidey.
Oh, hi, Miss Amy. How's it going?
I'm doing great. My favorite Easter candy is probably those chocolate peanut butter Reese's eggs. So I could eat those all day long, but I won't. I want to thank you for being here today. We are so excited to see you. I know I can't believe that you are actually here. So I wish I could get your autograph, but I'll just be happy that I got to see you. Thank you for answering our questions and reading that great story. I just have one more thing that I need to say about how we got to bring you here today. This program was made possible in part by a grant from the Rails Library System in cooperation with the Illinois Department of Human Services. Parents, if you should have any questions about the census, please email us at the library at reference@gepl.org or go ahead and go on to that my2020census.gov and fill it out today. We hope you enjoyed the show and mark your calendar for the next session, which will be held on Monday when we're going to have a sing-along with our friend Moana. Are you going to be there, Spider-Man?
I think I'm going to have to be there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be there too. Thanks for everybody for coming today, and thank you so much, Spider-Man, for joining us. We're so happy you could be here today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody.